anything to compare it to at home in the United States. And because and in fact, I have found, how long did it take you to kind of come down when you first came over?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it takes everybody a little bit of time to kind of just relax in it, and I don't have to, I can. And one of the things I like about here is that almost every neighborhood community has a store you can walk to. It's nice. It's a community store. You don't have to jump in the car and go down to the shopping center. You just go up the street, get you a loaf of bread, or a bottle of wine, or some meat, or whatever. You got a little grocery store in the community, and it's like being in just a very nice community. And the other thing, do you find the Costa Rican people friendly?
Absolutely. And they don't care if you don't understand them. They just talk.
Yeah, just talk.
They just talk. I try to practice my Spanish when I'm here. My Spanish, I practice. And it doesn't matter how bad I am, they just act like I've got the best Spanish, and they just carry on their conversation to me, and until I say adios. Now, they're wonderful.
Now, Marilyn, you've come over here several times, and you've been looking at different places to stay and everything, and you found many of them online that you thought would suit. And tell us about that. You can look at pictures and everything, but you can't tell.
Are you talking about my Atlanta experience?
Yeah, I'm talking about your experience here in Costa Rica.
Oh.
You remember the house that you looked at to rent that had the bathroom and the shower?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. For a minute, I thought I wanted to buy a house. So I was, again, looking around, exploring different options and possibilities in Costa Rica. And a local real estate agent took me to a house that was occupied by a gentleman and his wife. And it was teeny tiny. I'm an artist, so I don't necessarily need a lot of space. I can be creative with my spaces, but I could not wrap my head around the fact that the toilet was in the shower. So yes, I can use my time in the shower very efficiently in the morning and not even have to be standing up. But I just, there's just so many there's differences, and you have to be open to the differences. And as Jenna, you had asked me how long it take me to relax and settle in. I think for many people, they come here with expectations. And sometimes it's negative, which we've seen in terms of anticipating racism and animosity. And I always tell people, leave that in the States.
Yeah.
Leave that in the States. Don't bring that here.
Check them at the customs.
Yeah. Because again, it's been my experience that, like I said, it's very peaceful. And so when I came, I was ready. I was already open to anticipating quiet. Not everyone comes that way, and I find when people come with animosity and expecting animosity,
they expect
it,
yeah.
And they kind of ruin their vacation expecting negativity, and that's so unfair to you or to them as a visitor and their guests. So leave that negativity that as people of color we've adopted, that we've had for generations and centuries. Leave that stuff at home and take this time in Costa Rica as a chance to breathe.
To get away from that.
Yeah, and that's something I found. This trip, I just felt I could breathe, which there's not much breathing going on in the States these days. So it was good to get that. When the plane came through the clouds as we approached the airport, tears were rolling down my face. I felt like such an idiot. It was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
But another thing too, Marilyn, you in your business that you worked in, you left all your friends behind. You have a few friends, but it wasn't a variety. Right now you're meeting a variety of, you have friends in Gracia, you have friends in Escazú, you have friends in Guanacaste, you have friends all over. And it's very, very nice because this time of your life, you can develop new friendships. And you can develop friendships with people that now don't work with you, and you're not working on the same job or mission, but you can pick your friends, and many of them are like you. They want to experience new things in life. Most of us that come over here. Some people come over just to run away from the situation in the United States. You know, sometimes they run away from the situation in the United States, they bring it with them. And so that's what Marilyn's saying. Don't bring it with you. Those kind of things that you have. I remember, I'll give you an experience I had. I went into a store here and I had a friend, she was from Texas. She was tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, and so we went into this store in Escazú. And we were buying things, and then as I bought things and put them on the shelf, and I go back and get some more things because they didn't have a basket. So every time I bought things and put them on the shelf, the guy put my stuff with her stuff because he thought I was working for her. And that is not uncommon because at that time, and even now, they don't see too many of us. Even though they have Costa Ricans that look like me, but they are mostly in Limon area. They're not, it's not a great population. So it was kind of funny to me. And she kept on saying, well, why is he putting my stuff with your stuff? And then when I went to pay, she gave him her credit card, but when I went to give him my credit card, he wanted my identification, okay? And that was basically because I found out that they think because they don't know the people in Limon, they don't know too much about them, just like there's a lot of people that don't know too much about us as a Black American in America, and they think that the people in Limon don't have much money, so how could they be spending this much money? And so the fact that I had an American passport, that shocked him because I might have been his first customer with an American passport. And it wasn't because he was thinking what we think about prejudice. It was just the fact that he had a question in his mind based on his knowledge and his information. I've been in Panama. Gave them my passport and they looked at it and said, "You're an American?" Yeah, I'm American. Or I've been in Panama and I'm speaking English and they tell me to speak Spanish because they think I'm a Panamanian trying to pass for an American. So, you know, so you can't, a lot of these things, you can't take them on. They're just differences, and because you don't know what the differences are, leave, like Marilyn said, and I'm sure you say this, Russell, leave that stuff at home. You know, just definitely leave it at home. And like Linda says, I love everybody. You know, we even love the people that are not so lovely. But we love them because we're free to do that. And we, over here, we have made a choice to come over here. Let us come. Nobody told us to come, but we came because we wanted to come. And this country has a lot to offer. Wouldn't you say that, Meryl?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say that, Russell?
I would.
And Linda, listen, you've been here a short time. Well, what did you say? Would you say they have a lot to offer?
I would say don't build any barriers before you even get on the plane.
That's right.
A lot of people think not knowing Spanish is a barrier. I probably know 3 words, and I use them every chance I get. And everyone is so happy when I just say, "Hola, ¿cómo está usted?"
They just light up, right?
They do. I don't know anything else. But they appreciate the fact that you're over here and you are trying your very best to learn their language.
Grandioso vino, este domingo 18 de noviembre.
tienen a partir de las 2 de la tarde en el Gimnasio Los Ángeles. Tendremos muchos premios para el agrado de todos. ¿Sabes cómo?
I'm gonna leave that in. That's part of our culture in Costa Rica. This is our paid advertising.
And a lot of people have the misconception when you go to a country and you don't understand the money, you don't speak the language, that you're gonna get taken. That is so untrue. I went to the market and I got a little confused, but the people there, they helped me. I didn't even think I was gonna get change back for things because of the price. And they said, you know, wait, and they gave me my change back, you know. So that alone told me that this is the place for me. I might not know everything here, but people have really helped me considerably. Getting around is a piece of cake. The cab drivers are awesome. They show up and they get you where you need to go without driving around maybe 10 miles before you get to your destination. I feel very comfortable here alone. I've shopped alone. I've done a lot of things alone. And I feel very, very comfortable, which is important for a single woman.
Yeah.
You need to feel safe, and I feel 110% safe here.
I'm going to try and piggyback off of a couple of things. Traveling as a single, again, there's so many people of all ages who have decided to get up and go. Don't let the fact that you're by yourself and you have no traveling companion or a maid or, oh, I don't want to be alone. You can do it. It's so doable. My sister's going to Asia by herself in January, and she says I inspired her. It's like, oh, okay. But and the other thing about the generosity of the people here, one of my favorite stories was, I think it was my first trip here. I was in a part of Costa Rica, not far from here, in a town called San Ramon during rainy season. And I take the bus almost all the time. And I was in San Ramon. I was trying to get back to Grecia, and I didn't know where the bus stop was. So in the meantime, the skies have opened up. I had this little umbrella, and I stopped and asked this young man, ¿Dónde está el bus a Grecia? That's one of the phrases you can learn. And once you know that phrase, you can get around. Where is the bus to? And then you put in where you want to go. So I asked this young man where the bus was, and I was pouring, and he's standing under the awning, and he indicates for me to follow him. And he takes me to the bus. It was about maybe 3 blocks to the bus in the rain. I didn't ask him to take me. He did. And it was like, no, just show me, you know, donde, you know. But he took me physically to the bus stop. And as Americans, we've come to anticipate they're going to want a handout.
Yeah, or whatever.
He never.
It embarrasses them when you do that.
He never asked for a penny, and it was like he didn't have to do that. But so many times I've had those experiences of being, you know, lost or just kind of turned around, and it's happened many times where they will stop what they're doing and take you to where you want to go. And it just makes me want to cry.
Yeah,
it's
all in a nutshell. I think the thing that I have experienced in my lifetime and when coming over here is that it was so different than what I'm used to, and it was an adjustment to find out that people here were so open and friendly, and they are so receptive, and they're so proud of their country that they want you to have a good time. they really want you to have a good time. If they ask you, how do you like Costa Rica? If you say, no, I don't really like it or whatever, well, they're so disappointed they don't know what to do. Because they want you to really like their country, and they don't want you to have any bad experiences. So I have people ask me, how safe is it? Chime in all together. How safe is Costa Rica, Maryland?
Safer than being a black man in America. Sorry, that's my answer. That's my stock answer.
It's really safer than being anybody in America.
Well, right now, yes.
Right now, it's really
Yes,
safe. But I ask people,
I'm
they want
sorry.
to go up the street. They say, "Well, how safe is?" And I say, "Where do you live?" They say, "New York." Safer than New York, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Now, on that note, it's so funny because again, I take the buses and I'm out all the time. There are certain behaviors that we have as Americans, and I suppose as many countries or places, each place has their own behavior. In Costa Rica, the Ticos, as they're identified here, the locals, they walk the roads during the day, they walk the roads at night, when it's dark, with no flashlight. Now, if you want to stand out, pull out your phone as a flashlight, and they will know you are not. You will automatically.
You're not from Costa Rica.
You're not from Costa Rica because you need a flashlight.
You're not from Costa Rica,
You're
and
not.
if you're out on the street too late at night, you're not. They
Oh,
know
my
you're not from
goodness.
Costa Rica, because basically because it gets late so early, unless maybe you're in the city, maybe they stay out till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But basically, in small towns like Heredia, the smaller towns, everybody's in the house by about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
But it's dark at 5:30.
It's dark at 5:30.
So you're gonna be in the dark.
It is dark
So-
at 5:30.
Like I'm gonna be in the dark tonight.
Well, I really want to thank you guys for doing this for me, because after being here for these many years in Costa Rica, I have found many people that come over here and they become disappointed because they're looking for something that they thought they saw on the internet. And and I know that what the details of the place are not on the internet. They're just introductions, and they're not the details, and you won't know unless it's kind of like looking at a shoe, and it looks like it fits, but you put your foot in it, it doesn't fit. So for everybody, it does not fit. And that doesn't mean that something's wrong with Costa Rica or that we try to oversell Costa Rica. It's just that some people just can't make it because they cannot adjust. And you do have to adjust. You do have to adjust in Costa Rica. There's some things that are going to make you mad, Russell. Going to make you angry. Because you say, oh, why are they doing it that way? And that's just the way, and you have to remind yourself, they're doing it that way because I'm in Costa Rica and not in the United States. And that's the way they do it here in Costa Rica. So I appreciate you taking that time to do this for me. And we're starting to be more looking at our health, because coming over here and wondering how their medical care is, yeah, okay. But what we want you to do is come out over here and get into even better shape than you are in now, so you don't have to do the medical care so much. You can depend on what's been provided.
I have no pain since I've been here, that I have not had to increase any medication. You have to come here either as a tourist or someone about figuring out if this is where you want to be. You can't do it in a week.
No.
I'm here a month, and I know for a fact that before I leave here, I will know that when I have my next birthday, and I promise Jeanette, I will be here in Costa Rica. But don't come over for a week and expect to be able to make decisions. It's not going to happen. You cannot immerse yourself into this place in a week.
I'm convinced that this was it. And then what I like about Costa Rica will never change, really, and that's the weather and also the people. And so those two things, but everything else changes.
But I want to comment also on what Linda said about coming as a tourist. If you are considering, or if you know, Costa Rica is on your idea as a place to retire or just to live for an extended period of time, you have to make the right trip. And what I mean by that is, if you're considering living here, you don't take the zip lining trip.
Yeah, tours, yeah.
You don't, I mean, you can have that for maybe a week or a couple of days, but to consider living here, that's not the trip to take. And I say that importantly because it's what my sister did. She said, I want to consider living in Costa Rica. So she came over, she went to the jungle, she went zip lining, she went water rafting. We could do those things because we live here, but that's not what you're going to
That's
do.
not going to be life here.
That's not going to be your life here, unless that is your life. So it's important that you take the right trip.
Make some plans because we had a lady that came over. She didn't make plans. She jumped on the plane, decided she's going to come, and she had bills and things, commitments back there, and then she's making a commitment for it, and economically it was not good for her. She liked it, she enjoyed Costa Rica, but she found that she came too quickly. Because whenever you move, if you're thinking about moving, you need to know that it's going to cost you to move. What they're saying, people are saying it costs you on a monthly basis. I'm going to tell you, it takes maybe a couple years to get to that monthly basis because it costs you to move. Because you might move in a place that you think you like, and then 6 months later you want to move someplace else. And so, you know, you can't come here, I won't say can't, you shouldn't come here without trying to get everything taken care of in the United States that you can get taken care of. And to make sure that financially, that this is what you can do. Because when you first get here, it's going to cost you a little bit more money. It's going to cost you for your cedula, for your permit to stay in Costa Rica. And if you don't get that, you're going to have to go out every 90 days. That's going to cost you. And so, you know, and coming here, I always tell people the best way to come, the really best way to come, is to come and visit at least 1 or 2 times before you really make a decision, or either stay some length of time. Because when you come over here on a week or 2-week vacation, it is a vacation spot. The reality has not set in. So I want to thank you for coming along, Teresa, and thanks for this interview. It's such a pleasure, and that's what's been making my business such a fantastic thing, because for years I had dreamed of having my family here in Costa Rica, and you are my family. You are my family, and I really appreciate you, and I'm so happy that you're wanting Costa Rica to be your home, and you're looking to be here, and you will have a lasting friendship, and it is so wonderful, and I really appreciate you, and I want to know that I appreciate you so very, very much.
Thank you, Janetta. Don't cry. That's my job.
No, that's my job.